Good evening and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville's regular council meeting for February 12th, 2019. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
It's really warm in here.
Roll call. Sharon, please.
Mayor Griesbach,
Here.
Mrs. Gatos.
Here.
Mr. Poach.
Here.
Mr. Harvey.
Here.
Mr. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Urasinko. Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Little.
Here.
Mr. Ratcher.
Here.
Ms. Rock.
Here.
Mr. Hugus. Mr. Sedlak.
Here.
Mr. Weldon.
Here.
Oh, Mr. Story, I'm sorry.
Here.
He's here.
Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you.
Council, we're going to start with a presentation. We have a very nice presentation this evening. We had with the formation of our MS4 program, we were seeking logos for the MS4 department, and we reached out to the Gateway School District for help. Mr. Harvey, if you could maybe explain how that started, please.
Yes, so the new division of the MS4 for stormwater management was going to start. We wanted to get them a new emblem. I asked council for permission to go ask the art department at Gateway High School and to give the winning student a $500 scholarship, and council approved that. I went up to I made an appointment. I went up to the art department and I made a short presentation to the students explaining to them what it was all about. Passed out some sample artwork from around the country, gave them some instruction, told them what it was about in Monroeville. And the instruction was really basic. It was just telling them to try to include the municipal emblem somewhere, that we'd like the letters MS and the number 4 on there somewhere. And they had questions. And I asked the art department that if once the students were done designing the art, if they would please have it ready for judging by number, no names on it. And then I asked Mr. Urasinko and Mr. Poach and the mayor to be our judges.
Yeah, then we, myself and Mr. Urasinko and Mr. Poach met up with Dr. Short from the school district and school board members Valerie Warning and George Lapsevich, and we went through all of the presentations and all of the logos. There was about 13 to 15 different logos, and it was really challenging to pick a winner, but certainly one finally did stand out. But it really shows the talent that we have here in our community in the Gateway School District. So, but without further ado, we have Caitlin Warros, and this is the winning logo right here. We're going to put on the camera.
Turn it this way a little bit. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
I think he's going to put the camera. Oh, right.
There we go. Perfect.
Our congratulations to Caitlin.
Yes.
Hey, Mayor, how about a picture with Mom and Dad up there with her?
Yeah, we got pictures.
Ah. Good job. All right.
Very good.
Yeah,
Good
thank
job.
you. Thank you.
Driving around Monroeville.
I think we should say how impressed we were with your artwork and your vision of how you saw the MS4 for us.
Thank you.
So,
I'm very excited to see it around.
well, we're very excited. We were very excited when we saw it, so.
Well, Caitlin, how long did it take you,
To do that,
to do that? How would you say, a couple hours, 5 hours? What, You want to come up to the mic? Yeah, but,
Yeah, sure.
Just stand at the podium.
In front of
Just
that.
stand on
Stand
the
in
other
front.
side of the,
so everybody in the community.
Yeah,
can-
now
And then
look
face this
forward.
Oh, just, there you
Right
go.
there.
There you go. How long did it take you?
Chat.
About 3 hours. I did that one graphically. So I did it on the computer at school.
But we like the
Okay.
concept, the
Yeah,
concept really shows what it's for. So
I wanted that storm pipe that took me, or I don't know what it's called.
Grate?
The grate.
The grate,
Yes,
the storm grate,
That
yes,
took me forever to make that part because I wanted to put that in because I knew that was the main concept.
yes.
And to like put them all together, that was the hardest part to figure out how to do it.
But you mentally knew how you wanted it to look. It
I
looks
sketched
fantastic.
it out first and then I did it on the computer.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, that really
Thank
made it
you.
stand out. You really did an excellent
Very
job.
nice.
We're
Yeah.
really proud of you.
Thank
We are
you.
very proud of you.
And before the meeting, I said, we probably won't make you speak, but of course, all these people started asking you questions, so sorry about
That's
that.
Well,
okay.
we've been excited
Come
to
up to the
meet you
microphone.
because everything was by number, so, we didn't know who anybody was, so it was very fairly done, and we're very impressed.
Thank
Hey, Lynn, if
you.
I can once again ask you to thank your art department and all your fellow students.
Oh, I'm so thankful for my art department and the fellow students, especially my teachers, Mrs. Contis and Mr. Carson.
There you go.
Great.
They've
Perfect.
taught me everything I know.
Great.
And
Thank
Caitlin
you.
will be getting a $500 scholarship, and I think it's money well spent, and
Yes.
excellent job.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thanks,
so
Caitlin.
much.
You really captured the purpose of our MS4 program. She really captured it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, council, we're going to move over to our regular part of the meeting, but our public comment on proposed agenda items only. So this will be your time to speak. If you have any comments about proposed agenda items only, we ask for a 5-minute time limit for such comments. Please sign in and state your name for the record. That'd be great.
Georgiana Woodhall, 4560 Broadway Boulevard.
Thank you.
I had a couple of questions on the MS4 building as well as the MS4 definition of vacant property. I know Mr. Duncan mentioned at the last meeting that people were being charged different prices for the vacant lots, and I wanted to know if that issue was resolved or, what happened with that. Because I just got my bill.
As far as the individual that I was speaking about, it has been resolved. They were, I believe it's $39 per lot,
30.
whatever it is.
There's a flat fee for a vacant lot.
It was.
Okay.
And he misinformed me as far as, he had a shed on one lot, and that's why it was different. It's actually a vacant lot, but it had a shed with watershed. So, yeah, that has been,
Okay, and,
but.
I was a little confused on a definition. My definition of a vacant lot would be an empty lot. I'm not sure what your definition of a vacant lot is.
I can't tell you it off by heart, but that's,
Because I received the bill for my vacant lot, and I meant to bring the picture tonight, but I walked out without it because it is not a vacant lot. It is a lot at the bottom of Haymaker Road that is on Forbes Road, where our property goes across Forbes Road. It is divided by Forbes Road and joins the neighboring last house on Haymaker Road, joins their property in about the middle of the drive, which would be a driveway, if you want to call it that.
it's two different parcels.
What's one parcel? It's divided by
By the road.
the road. So I'm not sure how that can be
Well, what was your
considered a
bill?
vacant property. Well, it's $30. It's on a
Okay,
vacant lot.
what's
It's
the-
$30 this year. I don't know what it'll be next year or what it'll continue to be.
It should probably
But
stay at
I'm,
30. If that's a
like, who would
vacant
be
lot.
responsible? Wouldn't,
Well, I'm sorry, so, for one thing, A, we're getting outside of what's on our agenda for this evening, and this seems like this is a question for the,
the appeal board that doesn't exist yet.
well, appeal board, which we are going to be setting up. However, in the interim, Mr. Little is the one who can answer these questions for you.
Yeah, I've had some discussions with Mr. Little.
And if maybe
'cause
you and
I'm
I,
trying
you,
to re-
him, you and him could maybe set up a meeting to discuss this, and that way
Okay,
they can
but
go over.
let me ask you this. The MS4 is to take care of problems, correct? So
Yeah.
if a water problem is on a state road, or if a water problem is on a county road, then that would, what I've been told for years, 30 years, is not the responsibility of the municipality. So how is that going to help me?
I was,
My,
Because there's drainage problems on both the Forbes Road property and also on the state 130 property.
Well, the way that the program was set up was that it was the money that is needed to maintain all the infrastructure and to follow everything that goes with the permit. It's a way to spread the financial responsibility between all of the property owners.
Fair and equally.
But would you be responsible on a state road or a county road? Because I've been told in the past that that's not your responsibility on a state road or a county road.
Correct.
I don't believe it is.
Well,
No,
then
it
why
is
am
not
I
our
paying
fault.
you an MS4 fee if you can't help me with the problems that I have on the state road or on the county road?
Well, the water problems are in the entire community, and we are all chipping in.
Yeah, I get that.
Maybe if I can, did you submit an appeal?
You told me the appeal board wasn't set up, might not be set up until March.
Still want to
Well,
You
that-
don't
okay,
have
that is
anybody
true.
on it, but
Okay.
I will be.
Okay. Why don't you do this, Georgianne? Go on the website. The appeal process is due this Friday. Okay, you have until this Friday, at least submit an appeal, all right? Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is you and I discussed on the phone, you have a piece of property where Forbes Road bisects, if I visualize this correctly. Now, the question becomes, that is a right-of-way, and I don't know, I'm just speaking conventionally. That is a right-of-way over top of that, but you still own, I'm thinking, now maybe you don't, I don't know. You probably still own the property in fee simple, even
Right.
though the road goes over there in
Exactly.
a
I still pay
right-of-way.
taxes.
Okay, now, but, I'm not going to make a judgment here. Submit an appeal. It will be reviewed by me and Paul Hugus and Jamie Story and I. We do this once a week. Any appeals come in, we review them. If I grant it, case closed. If it's denied, then you may have the right, depending on if it's kind of a no-brainer, yours sounds like a little bit, it is a unique situation, then you would have the right to go to the Board of Appeals. So I would submit that appeal by this Friday, get that on the record that you have appealed, at least get that on the record.
Okay, now there's drainage pipe on the property, not on the Haymaker side of the property, but onto the opposite side of the road. There is a huge draining pipe there and a water problem there. So I'm not sure, if it would be up to the municipality to come and view that before an appeal or how you want to
I
do
don't think
that.
that has anything to do with
Nothing
the
to do
appeal.
with-
You're trying to appeal the fee, the charge.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that type has nothing to do with.
So if you could
Okay,
move on to your
just-
question about the building, 'cause that
Yeah.
is on the agenda?
Yeah, I just wondered why they were not utilizing an existing building, why we're
There's nowhere
building
near
a
the
new
room.
building.
Nowhere near the room, not even close.
Okay, I would like to answer.
Okay,
There's going to be equipment, there's going to be manpower, there's going to be materials. These all have to be housed somewhere. Everything needs to be kept separated so that we can turn it into the federal government down to the penny of what is used. There's no room at the Public Works. You can't, there's no space to put things there. We can't share with them because they have their own work to do. So we have to have a complete separate workforce. We've had trouble even finding a temporary building while this building is put up.
okay, now how much is that building, do you think that would cost?
Well, that's what we're in the process of getting.
Okay.
Quotes, and it is, if you look at the budget, it's budgeted in there for this process to happen.
It's in the
Okay.
MS4
And
budget.
the only other thing that I wanted to bring up also is, looking for ways to save money and to pay for things. And, I don't like to really go back, but during the gas ordinance, we were looking at properties owned by the municipality. There were on this 3-page list I have, over 24 properties owned by the municipality. Now, 4 out of that were parks, and so that was taken away. But why are we sitting on 3 pages of 20-some properties that are just an expense to the taxpayers? Because you said your municipality is going to have to pay on all these properties, MS4. And really, it's us taxpayers paying twice. We're paying for our personal property, and then we're paying on these 20-some properties here.
Well,
Like,
are you talking
why
about
could they not
parkla-
be
are you talking about
sold?
Parkland?
No, not the parkland. These are properties anywhere on Stewart Street, Haymaker, Monticello Drive, Brickyard Road, Thomas Street.
Well, those are all things to be considered.
I mean, it really adds up. I mean, if these properties were sold, the municipality would be in great shape.
That's an
I mean,
idea.
Probably
that-
if they were sold.
That's an idea that I think Mr. Little can maybe look into, and that's something maybe council could
Yeah,
consider.
if these properties were sold, you probably wouldn't have had to give us a fee for this MS4.
It's
I'd
something-
I'd like to
I don't
make
know
a
about
comment
that.
on this whole thing.
Okay.
I'm not in favor of feeing vacant lots.
I know, I
And I
heard
want
that
that
at the
to be
meeting.
known.
I heard that at the meeting.
You know, I
Steve.
just don't understand
And
that. That
the only-
makes no logic to me.
No,
But-
and the thing is, like, I, honestly, I'm going to close on this. When this committee was put together to work on this MS4, of all the people on council, Mr. Duncan, who was on Public Works, would have been the ideal person to be involved with this. And for him to say, I wasn't aware of this, and not be included in the loop to help with this project, to me, is just very disappointing. The most educated one in Public Works, spent his career in Public Works, and, didn't have any input into it. But
Thank you for your
I will
comments.
get-
If
I
you
will
could place
get
the
that
appeal, like
in.
Mr. Little said, definitely do that by the end of the
I
week.
will, and the only other thing I have to get with the municipality, I'm going to ask for your help in the problem that I have with the catch basin in front of my home that is destroying my property.
You can bring that up to Mr. Little at the same time.
I will, thank
Thank
you.
you. Is there anyone else who would like to address council on agenda items only? Seeing none, we're going to close that part of the meeting, and we are going to move over to our regular meeting. We have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session for personnel and litigation reasons prior to Citizens Night, February 7th, 2019, beginning at 6:30 PM until 7 PM. All legislative council action, if any, shall be taken at the February 12th council meeting this evening. Council, we have our minutes in front of you of Citizens Night from January 3rd, 2019, council work session of January 3rd, 2019, and the regular council meeting of January 3rd, 2019. We'd like to seek a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve. Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or comments, council? And I would just like to say before, as we go through these items, everything was discussed at length at our Thursday, February 7th meeting. So we have a motion and a second to approve. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Reports of our tax collections. Seeking a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. List of bills and budget transfers. Council, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions, council?
No, sir.
Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Payroll report, council, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Comment? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Oh,
Council, moving over to our vacancies on boards, commissions, and authorities. Mrs. Gatos, anything this evening?
No, sir, not tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Poach?
No, sir, not tonight.
Mr. Harvey?
yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept Scott Belts on the municipal authority
Second.
Is that a motion and a second to nominate, or I'm sorry, to appoint?
to appoint.
There's a motion and a second to appoint. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Question,
Question?
that's for my sixth ward appointment? Is that correct?
That is the 6th Ward vacancy, yes.
Yes. Which usually is my appointment or my nomination. But you guys are going to go another route, so be it. Okay, go on.
So there is a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
We're going to do a roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
No.
Mr. Duncan?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Harvey, anything else for this evening?
No.
Mr. Johns? Anything
Nothing,
this
sir.
evening?
Nothing.
Mr. Duncan?
Nothing.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, I, I would like to appoint Alicia Branson to the Ethics Board. We nominated her in December.
Second.
Motion and a second to appoint. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Anything else, Mr. Wilson?
That's all, thanks.
Very good. Moving on, council. To our consent agenda, we have 2 new business items of Sandy Hill Development. Mr. Little, please.
Okay, the first one, as was discussed at the work session this past Thursday, applicant is requesting site plan approval to construct 133 single-family residential homes and associated site amenities. Applicant also requests a waiver for the construction of a cul-de-sac that will exceed a maximum of the permissible length of 800 feet. The property is located at 3892 Logan's Ferry Road, otherwise known as Maple Crest Golf Course, in the R2 one-family residential zoning district. This is a resubmittal which came straight to council and did not necessarily need to go to the Planning Commission.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions, council?
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
If the problem that you were having with the road would change before you get going, and would you still be willing to do
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes. And we left room there to,
I know, I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask I thought of it after
Yes.
Thursday, and I thought, I wonder if they would be
if
willing.
things change along the way, definitely.
Because you never know.
You never know.
We can only.
We gave it
can
the old
only-
college try
I
right
know,
now,
I
but-
know you did, but we can only all hope
Yes,
for
it is a
the
private-
rest, for the rest of the residents up
Yes.
there.
It's a
So-
private property matter. but
Yes.
Hopefully, if it would come
Yeah, but I
around,
just wanted to
you'd be
know and
willing to
have it on
consider it.
record that if something would change, you would.
Yes,
Mayor.
definitely.
Excuse me, I have a comment. I'd like to remind council that this is my ward, so I would like to make the nomination. Thank you.
I'd have liked that also.
Great. Any other comments or questions, council? There is a motion and a second to approve this. This is, now, we are going to be, the motion and the second, we will do for 18-6-STR. That's your first item, council. So there is a motion and a second for that. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. John?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next item is 18-3-SUB-R, Sandy Hill Development. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Okay, second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any other comments about this, council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Good luck.
Thank
Good luck
you.
with your
Thank
project.
you.
We're very
See you
excited
again.
about it.
Good luck.
Thanks again.
Council, moving over to motions. We have 3 motions this evening. Mr. Little, please.
Okay, the first is a motion to approve a business membership with the Turtle Creek Watershed Association in the amount of $50.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. John?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
I almost got a chance. Aye.
Aye, aye.
We have 2 affirmative votes down there. The ayes have it. Second motion, Mr. Little.
Okay, this is a motion to award Farringer, McCarty, and Gray Incorporated the contract for the MS4 storm sewer building not to exceed $36,900, which is in council's packet. And I presented this to council on Thursday, and we discussed this. So a motion.
Motion.
Sorry. There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments or
Question?
question?
Yeah, I
Mr. Duncan?
definitely have a question here. First of all, I think the engineering firm that you chose is an excellent choice. I have no issues with the engineering firm. But some of my questions, or one of my questions are, what type of building is this going to be? Is it going to be a pool building similar to the one that we at Public Works constructed?
Similar, isn't it going to be similar to like the one that's at the fire academy?
Okay, the fire training, we
Yeah.
also constructed that.
Yes.
Are we going to do any in-house work? You know, are our guys going to dig the footers, put the cement in similar to what we did, the electrical, the gas, the water, the sewerage? I mean, this is all in-house savings. And if you're doing a pole building, it comes engineered, it's constructed. We, when I say we, Public Works put up all the buildings at the, or I should say, prepped all the buildings at the Fire Training Center, and also at the Public Works Garage that house all of our refuse trucks. Everything was prepped through Public Works personnel. What a savings that was.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm talking footer, foundation, the block work, the cement work, the electrical, the gas, the water, everything. Then the unit was delivered, and it was already pre-engineered, so it was delivered on site and built.
Well,
What
don't
a
you think that would
savings.
be a discussion? I mean, I love.
What a
the-
savings
I
to the
love the
public.
point that you brought up, honestly. I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I think that is certainly a discussion for future.
Well, it's something that we did at the Fire Training Center, it's something that we did at Public Works.
Right,
And if
and
we
I think
put it,
that-
if we put another building that resembles or exactly like the building that's there, it would kind of blend with the
And I think that would be
background.
a discussion for the engineering department to have with the head of Public Works and, you know.
That's fine,
Yeah,
but
'cause
Yeah,
this is just for
but-
the.
this is engineering, but
just
if
the
you
engineering.
look at it,
But you're, yeah,
if you look at what they're doing, I mean, again, I'm
No,
stating, I have no
please go ahead.
issues with the engineering, but $37,000 for engineering of a pole building, which comes already engineered?
Partially because the municipal public works garage wasn't built to spec as it is, so it doesn't meet the federal MS4 requirements. So the new engineering department has to make it meet the.
No, I can understand if we, that's totally different. We shouldn't put that under the building construction. That should be, if we need a layout, because back at the time, we were legal, when the Public Works building was installed, just like a lot of the other communities, you know, neighborhoods and such that don't have stormwater runoff. I understand that fully. But at the time, we were under specs. I mean, we were good to build. And I can understand that fee, but not that we need the engineer to lay the building out for us,
and
to
do
do.
stormwater management on that property,
Yep.
the entire property.
The entire.
Okay.
Not ju, Stevie, not just for this building, but for the previous Public Works building that's there.
Okay, but it wasn't explained that way. Here's $37,000 to put up a pole building. No, just the engineering of it is the
Okay.
way that it's laid out.
Okay.
If you look at it in black
But it
and white.
has to be laid out in the stormwater
Well, it needs to be
management of
explained to
that-
the public that a lot of this money and effort is going towards a total stormwater management
of that entire
discharge of
site.
that site.
Correct. Does that make more sense?
Which we are in compliance to a point. Okay, you shake your head no, but
You're
there's
not.
a lot
Jamie,
of
are they?
structures and
Maybe just to clarify,
areas that aren't in compliance.
this is more of, like every site plan you see that comes through a land development plan. This is basically, we have to go through the same process as if Sheets came in and wanted to develop a new property or redevelop.
To do it
That's
above-
basically what we're
above
doing.
board.
We're gonna look at the whole site, do stormwater management for the site, look at the utilities that are out there, basically figure out all that. That's
Okay,
Just the site plan.
but when I
the
look at the site
engineering.
plan and it says the engineers are gonna get us permits, we don't do that in-house, our permits? I mean, why
Depends on
would
what
we
the
have
permit
to
is.
hire an outside firm to do in-house work?
There's a lot of it, it kinda all goes hand in hand.
Then it says location of utilities. I call one call, they'll show me where every utility is.
This will be more so they'll come out and survey where the location of the utilities are.
Why would we need that? We didn't need it prior to any of the other buildings. I called specifically, I recall this. I called one call, they showed me where the utilities were. Now, they did the taps, don't get me wrong, the water authority, Don LaGorga did all the electric work of the whole, him and his crew, of the fire training center.
Yeah, it goes back to, like I said, it's a land development process, so somebody has to survey that, put that on drawings. We have to meet our own requirements for a site plan, and that involves surveying the location of utilities. We can surely, we'll put into one call ourselves. I would think we'd do as
But I
much-
mean, why would we pay an engineering firm to do this?
There's some
That's-
things we
that's
ha-
my question.
There's some things we have to have a
Oh,
third
some
party
things
do,
there are, understandable,
because
but.
they have to do the site plan.
Okay, and
themselves.
even shrubbery, they're gonna, it's in here, in black and white, that they pick out the shrubs that we need. Now, come on. It's fees for all that.
Well, it's the site plan, the whole site plan design is what we're voting on. But to your point about what we can do in-house, that is something that would not be decided this evening. That could be,
But I think a lot of the charges that are incurred through the engineering can be a lot less than $36,900, is what I'm saying. A lot less, if we did a lot of in-house work on our own.
True, and
Especially permits
correct. And
and,
just to clarify, though, what we're voting on this evening is for it to not to exceed 36,900. It could be less. We are, what council's considering
or
this
it
evening.
could be more, because there are
Nope.
fees in
No,
there.
no, no, it says not
There
to
are
exceed.
fees
No,
that's,
but-
Mr.
no,
Duncan, it
what-
says not to
Just to
exceed.
clarify for everybody, what we're voting for, an affirmative vote for this would mean that we would not exceed 36,900.
well, the way I looked at it, 36,900.
But to your point, you could bring that fee down by doing some of the things that you're suggesting.
I could put that building up for 36,900. But, okay,
Hopefully, we can.
yeah. All righty, that's all I have.
Any other comments, council? We have a motion and a second to approve. Once again, the approval of this is to award the contract for the building, for the engineering, for the site plan development, for it to not exceed $36,900. Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Third motion, Mr. Little.
A motion to authorize to advertise an ordinance for regulating parking on East Patty Lane.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and 2
Say
seconds.
that with a little
I'm
more. You
trying.
used to be so excited. You've been waiting for that.
Any comments, council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Thank you.
The ayes have it. Moving over to our resolutions, council, we have 3 this evening. Mr. Little.
Resolution adopting the number 1 Cochran Automotive Sewage Planning Module.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little.
A resolution authorizing the display of various event banners at the corner of the intersection of States Route 22 and 48 within the right-of-way of property belonging to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little, last resolution.
A resolution authorizing the execution of a declaration and grant easement to the Municipality of Monroeville over, under, and through certain property owned by Terra Capital Associates for the purpose of ingress and egress across said property to facilitate the installation of electrical utility lines for Technology Drive.
Motion.
There's a motion to approve. Is there-
Second.
And there's a second. Pardon me, is there any comments? Seeing none, I would just like to say that this is a positive thing for Tech One Park, to get some electricity back there and to do some upgrades, and hopefully it leads to development in that plan. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving over to our ordinances, council, we have one ordinance this evening. Mr. Ratcher.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville repealing ordinance number 2541 and adopting new comprehensive stormwater management provisions for the Municipality of Monroeville pursuant to the Stormwater Management Act 32 PS Section 680.1. This matter is presently on the table. I spoke with Mr. Story before the meeting, and he advises me that the staff would like to keep it on the table for now. They've not finished their review.
Then a motion to table?
It's already on the table, so no.
So just a
no
motion to
action.
continue, or we
Would
don't,
be
no
necessary.
action? Okay.
No action.
Good.
Okay, moving over to our reports of municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher,
No report.
thank you. Mr. Little.
Just a couple things to reiterate from Thursday night. Summer employees, college students, applications are due April the 22nd. And also, PennDOT will begin the milling and overlay of Route 22 from the Turnpike interchange to the county line Murraysville. That'll start, they're going to be letting out the contract in March, and they are tentatively scheduled to begin April the 15th, tax day, and they're not going to finish until the following year, June of 2020.
Northern Pike.
Pardon me?
I said, good luck, Northern Pike Hill.
Right, yeah, that's true, that is very true. Also, just to reiterate also that, once again, the municipality has received the Government Finance Officer's Certificate of Achievement in Financial Reporting, and congratulations to Josie and her staff
Congrats,
for that.
Good job.
Great job.
And also to reiterate my condolences to the Ramsey family on the passing of former council member Clarence Ramsey. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Little.
My report, I have no report.
Mr. Story, I guess, do you have a,
Excuse me, I have one other condolence. Marshall Bond, my predecessor, the former municipal manager, his daughter Heather passed away this past Friday of cancer. And just, most of the people in this room know that, but just so everyone's aware of that. My condolences to Jay and Marshall.
thank you for letting us know. Mr. Story, do you have any report for this evening?
No report,
on that
sir.
front? Very good.
I have
Rosie,
nothing,
anything this evening?
nothing.
Okay. And we'll open the floor for public comment on any municipal item.
Don't all run up here at once.
Seeing none, we'll close that portion and move over to our reports of council members. Mrs. Gatos.
Yes. Well, not happy Thanksgiving, but happy Valentine's Day, since I made myself a note this time. There was my turkey, because I screwed it up so bad last time. Summer employment, please get your applications in, very important. The kids do a great job for the municipality, and we like to help out the families with the kids having something to do, and it works out great for everybody. Again, thank you to the Gateway Art Department for the participation in the MS4 design, and congratulations to Caitlin Warros. Absolutely loved her idea. Condolences to the Marshall Bond's family. That's very sad to hear about. And I think that's, oh, and again, congrats to Josie and her team.
Thank you.
For
Thank you.
your award.
It was a group effort.
Yes, it was, and we appreciate all of you for what you did. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Poach.
Nothing significant this week, just continued happy Valentine's before anybody gets mad at me. Again, too. That's all.
Okay, you got it in. Great,
I
great
did.
job.
I did.
Mr. Harvey.
Once again, thank you to the Gateway Art students for participating in the contest. All the artwork was great. The mayor showed it to me. And once again, thank you for doing that for us. I had a last-minute one come up here. A resident called, would it be possible to get Public Works to post a stop sign ahead coming up Logan's Ferry Road towards Willow Hedge? There's a four-way stop there, and apparently the traffic coming up the hill is not stopping or slows down or does not yield to the sign. So I told the resident the first thing we would, and she was the one that even suggested it, maybe putting the stop sign ahead down on Logan's Ferry Road coming up the hill. So that's a request from that.
Willow Hedge and
Logan's Ferry Road. Well,
Ferry, okay.
the stop sign's at Willow Hedge, it's a four-way stop.
Right.
Coming up the hill is where we want to put the stop sign ahead.
Stop sign ahead,
Oh, I want to congratulate my daughter and her husband Jason. They are going to make me and my wife grandparents again.
All right.
She's expecting this September, and I wanted to congratulate them both. And then, one last thing, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit on this. But I keep hearing residents come up, and some council people have questioned on it. So I'm going to briefly read this, and it'll be the last time, I promise. I won't go back on it, but it has to do with MS4. And the MS4 information was told to the community and elected officials And here's what I found in my notes. In February of 16, we advised council that MS4 was in existence, and there would be a presentation next month. In March, Paul Hugus and Jamie Story gave a public presentation pursuant to the MS4 and the rules that were implemented by the federal government. In September of 16, municipal staff conducted an educational class for council and the mayor and the manager, the solicitor, showing the work that would have to be completed, the manpower, the equipment, the responsibilities on the permit, the 26-page permit. During this class, costs and range of different fees were presented, showing how the potential budget would look. In October of 16, Manager Little explained MS4 and that other presentations would be made by Chester Engineering and stressed there would be a fee. In May of 17, Manager Little again talked about MS4 and how all communities would have to comply. Several residents came up to the podium and asked questions and made comments. In August of 17, public information meeting, Jamie Story explaining the MS4 pollution reduction plan. Mr. Hugus advised the expiration of the permit was April of 18. During this meeting, at least 3 residents addressed council on the matter. September of 17, I talked to several residents at the meeting about the MS4 fees and the permit. In June of 18, council approved the request for a proposal for the MS4 engineering firm, MS Consultants, and HRG Engineering. In July of 18, another educational meeting was presented to council, the mayor, the manager, the solicitor, showing updated numbers, figures, and costs, along with updated ordinance to reflect the needs of the MS4 department. In August, a motion to advertise the MS4 ordinance was made by council. In September, I once again explained the MS4 mandate. During this meeting, approximately 10 residents came to the podium and talked and asked questions. In September of 18, I explained the MS4 committee and their work. At this meeting, council tabled the proposed pollution control and flood reduction fee for amendments. And if you recall, that was on the religious organizations was being amended. And in September of 18, I talked to the high school students designing the emblem. In October of 18, council approved the MS4 fee program, which included all types of properties. Every property was listed there, and council had this stuff months before we ever voted on it. Every description of every kind of property. Should also mention that there was 2 special meetings held for the businesses, both here in the council chambers, and 2 educational meetings prior to council meetings for the public. I attended all 4 of those. In addition, there was a color informational mailer, which is right here, placed in everyone's water bill along with the required information on the municipal website. I want to add that the municipal authority was kind enough to put this flyer in the water bill, but they do not have anything to do with the bill. So don't call them with any questions or comments. And that is the summary of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Thank you.
Mr. Johns.
Yes, sir. I'm usually not very chatty Cathy, so I'll try to be quick. I apologize for that. A couple things going on down at the convention center. February 15th through the 17th is the 34th Annual Allegheny Sport, Travel, and Outdoor Show.
That's this weekend.
And the one that I'm sure everybody, especially Mr. Wilson, has been waiting for, February 22nd through the 24th, is the Pittsburgh Golf Show. That's that. I'd like to take a minute and say Happy Valentine's Day to the 3 ladies in my life, one being my wife, my daughter, and my granddaughter. And while I'm speaking about the grandkids for just a second, you know, they've been waiting. They're normally getting a bath, but they're up. They've been waiting to see Pappy on TV. Well, here you go.
Oh.
I want to say my granddaughter spends an awful lot of time, Sophia, in dance competitions. So the first thing I like to do, Jackson, he's my 6-year-old grandson, is say thanks for all your patience and endless hours sitting in all those auditoriums watching your big sister dance. God bless you for that, because I'm there a lot and it's not easy.
That's sweet.
And to Sophia, my 8-year-old star, she's in 7 different routines. I don't know how she does it.
Wow.
This year was her first year. She did a solo. And just very last Sunday, she took first place in her category of age. Congratulations to you, young lady.
Yay.
And one other thing, Studio G, I got to say, God bless you ladies, all you choreographers, and it's just a huge, huge thing, and congratulations to all of you. And with that, I'm done.
Very good. Congratulations to Sophia, and a big thanks to Jackson for keeping Grandpa, company during these events.
There you go. He's good as long as he has something to eat.
Very good. Mr. Duncan.
This was a shock to me. I just learned tonight about Jay and Marshall's loss, Marshall Bond's loss. I worked with Marshall for 34 years, and it's unbelievable. And also, my condolences to the Ramsey family. It's terrible. Last, happy Valentine's Day to my wife and my family. I'm probably going to give them like a heart-shaped turkey.
That's,
That's
well,
pretty
I have
good.
one down here you
Valentine's
can
Day.
mold.
That's pretty good.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. Condolences to Marshall Bond and his family. My daughter went to high school with his daughter, and we found out about it on Saturday. We were out of town. But, and to Clarence Ramsey's family. And happy Valentine's Day to my wife, my 2 daughters, my 3 granddaughters, and my grandson. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. And once again, condolences to the Bond family, to the Ramsey family, definitely two families that contribute a lot to our community. A big congratulations to Caitlin Waros, and great job with her, the logo and her the submitting of that. So congratulations to her for the MS4 logo. Congratulations to Josie and the Finance Department for their hard work and their achievement.
Thank you.
Excellent job. And also the congratulations to Forbes, their Forbes Cancer Center. They're opening on Monday and seeing patients there, and it's certainly a tremendous asset for not only Monroeville, but for the entire region to have that health care here in our community. Congratulations to Jason Sonnefeld and Kim, and to Nancy and Ron for the expansion of their family. And last but certainly not least, happy Valentine's Day to my wife and my girls, my daughters. And with that, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you and good night.